Yeah. Let's
Thank you, sir.
Turn to 6:30.
Cheryl, you ready?
6:30 on the dot. Got it. Wrong phone there?
Yes, sir.
I call the regular meeting, of the Milliken Board of Trustees of November 20th, 2017 to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I get all the money and I find it in the chair?
You can have it.
That's fine, the chair's gonna roll up easy.
As long as it's not my cash. Will the town clerk please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Austin?
Here.
Trustee Ehrlich?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner?
Here.
Mayor Woodcock?
Here.
Trustee Burak?
Here.
Trustee Smith, absent.
Does anyone have any additions or deletions to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Citizens' comments. Does anyone have any citizens' comments? No? Okay. Minutes of the previous meeting. Is there any discussion or comments on the minutes? If not, what? If not, if acceptable, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 8th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in aye.
May I ask who seconded?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
List of bills. Just hand this over to Elizabeth.
Sure. Courtney's on her way.
So Courtney, I'd like to request some research into our Excel Energy bills. They seem a little bit odd.
Okay.
Back in April, the bill was at its highest at $20,000. After that, we kind of dipped between $8,000 to $10,000.
Okay.
And now this month it's $47,000. So
Okay.
I'd like to understand if you can pinpoint what's causing this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull those with Steve and we'll go over it. Let you guys know.
That's the only bill question I had for this month.
No other questions? All right, moving on. Town Administrator's Report.
Thank you.
Yes, Mayor. I have a couple things. County Road 46 was trying real hard to get the paving finished on it. By the end of the year, doesn't look like that's going to happen. Most batch plants shut down around the 1st of December. And the one that will be open was very expensive, so it looks like that will be a next spring item. Plus, we still need to get the railroad's permission to do that. If any of you have been in town hall recently, hopefully you noticed that we have moved the building inspection, building permitting process over to the second window in the north hallway. Moving things around a little bit, and still have a few more changes that we'll be making. We've also added a new employee, Desiree Cruz. If you're in the building, stop in and say hi and meet Desiree. Wouldn't have done any good today because she is sick. It seems like we've got the bug going through town hall. And then I would like to ask you if you would all consider changing your December 27th board meeting to December 21st. And even if you would change that to 5 o'clock, it will be a special meeting, so we're not limited or restricted to the time. But 12/21 at 5 o'clock, if that would work for all of you.
That'd be just regular board meeting or work session and board meeting?
Just a board meeting, and it would be a special board meeting in lieu of the 27th. Then you wouldn't have one on the 27th.
Maybe work.
I can make it work.
So they need a motion to do that.
I'll move, we move the December 27th meeting to December 21st at 5 PM.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Make sure. Is that all you got?
Yes.
All right. Nothing on the consent agenda. We'll move to the action agenda. Action agenda item number 1 is the public hearing on proposed 2018 budget. We're gonna have the finance manager, Courtney Diller, and the town administrator, Leonard Weist, give the presentation. And it's 6:35, I'm gonna open the public hearing.
I would mention a couple things before Courtney takes over and explains some of the charts. But the 2018 budget, the revenues have gone up by $3.1 million, basically because of the RO plant, getting it up and running, and the brine treatment part of that RO plant. We have applied for a DOLA grant for $1 million and have an indication that that will be approved. So there will be about $2 million that we'll be looking at to get that plant permitted and up and running. We have, real quickly, I'll just highlight that we're adding 2 new police officers to the police department budget and 1 new patrol car. We're also changing the contract planner to a full-time planner at about the same money, but we will be getting 32 hours more per week out of that full-time planner than out of the contract, which will be a benefit to those builders, developers in town that use the planning services. Also, on the good news side is that because of the statutory 5.5%, only 5.5% increase in revenues, we had to lower our mill levy by 1.36 mills. Huh?
Temporarily.
Yeah, it is temporary. The way it works now is that because it's due to the 5.5% increase limitation, the 1.36 mills kind of goes into a reserve fund. So if next year the property tax values go down for whatever reason, the 1.36 mills can be added back without having a vote. This reduction will result in a little bit of savings to the Milliken taxpayers, depending on the value of their home or their commercial or industrial property. So, the traffic signal at Alice Avenue, CDOT gave tentative approval. I reported it last time. They have now looked at the new report that the signal will not interfere with the train crossings. The 2, one on Broad Street and one on South Alice. So CDOT has approved that warrant study and have instructed us to budget $600,000 for that signal. So there's still hope we can get a little bit of help from CDOT. It doesn't look like there's any grant possibilities for it, but It is something that we'll need to address in 2018, and I don't know, I believe we have 600,000 in here, or we did not?
Well, we have it listed in, as a capital project.
Okay, we've got it listed as a possible or probable, but it is not included in our numbers at this point. Courtney?
Okay. I will start with, this is all in your packets as well, but this is the projected 2018 general fund revenues. As you can see by the graph there, the main portion that we receive is based on the property tax, the 41%, and that is for $1,946,906. The other two main ones are the use tax of 18%, and that amount is $856,828, and the sales tax at 12% at $565,000. And then our next one is the building permits at 9%, and that's about $425,000. Is there any questions on those? The projected 2018 general fund expense per department is on this graph, showing the main increase is for public safety because of the 2 new officers that Leonard just mentioned. The rest follow pretty much in line with prior years. Police or public safety have the largest increase. And then community development includes going from a contract planner to an in-house planner. Let's see, I think that's the only main changes in those. The other one you'll see also is it's included under events and others, is the seniors is also now all in-house as well, the senior program. Any questions on any of those departments? This graph is an overall budget. We did a comparison for all charges for service. The blue line is the projected 2018 revenue, and the green or teal line there is the projected 2017 end of year revenue. The reason for the intergovernmental being so much higher in 17 versus 18 is because we haven't discussed all of the capital projects that you guys want to do, so then the expenses will go up in that line to cover those expenses. Any questions on any of those departments? The next graph is the 2017 and 2018 expenditures by department. The orange line is 2017 end of year, and the pink line is 2018. The reason that water has such a large increase is due to the RO plant and the cost of what we're going to do with that. Right now we have $3 million in the budget with, like Leonard said, hopefully to get a $1 million grant. Let's see, the other one that increased a lot. Public Works did a little bit because they added 1 employee. And the non-departmental went down. I think that's all the main changes. Any questions on those? And the last one here is the 2018 proposed capital projects. We've listed along the bottom there, the parking lot completion is about $50,000. The sidewalk repair program that Leonard had mentioned about implementing would be to help homeowners fix sidewalks in front of their houses at $50,000. Green Street median, which was just talked about with Bill, Leonard, and I, about maybe removing some of the rocks down the middle, but also depends on if we do the drainage. Sidewalk gaps has to do with the grant that we have for the crossings. Then parks projects of 150,000 of projects to be determined. And then the Alice traffic signal of 600,000. So these are ones we kinda need you guys to say, what are your highest priorities, or
Point out that the sidewalk repair program is, what I'm thinking is a shared cost program with the homeowners. The town would help on a 50-50 basis for those sidewalks that have failed, cracked, or settled. And sidewalks traditionally belong, the responsibility belongs to the homeowner, but just driving around, there's a lot of sidewalks that have failed, probably because of some improper construction, but the warranty period is up. It's hard to put all of that on the homeowner. It's hard to put any of that on the homeowner, but hopefully with this shared sidewalk repair program, we can get some of them fixed. Green Street median, it's such a wide median, it's a lot of waste. I personally don't like the rocks. Rocks gather heat, hold the heat, kill the plants that are in there. So would like to do some, if nothing else, narrow it down, take out the rocks. Still hopeful that we can do something with extending Green Street down to Lola Park, or past Lola Park, but there's a major drainage issue there, and it's gonna be expensive to do that. Sidewalk gaps is budgeted. That's our share of a grant. That's
Correct.
been ongoing. Parks projects are unidentified, but there is money in the park impact fee. Hoping for something to jump out at us that we can do a nice park project somewhere. And then, of course, the Alice traffic signal, which as of now has been approved, but it is not in the budget. So we need to put that in the budget and keep looking for ways for CDOT to help with that funding, or the county. One-fourth of that intersection is in the county. So there might be some possibilities of getting a little bit of help. And we're open to any other ideas for capital projects. That's all.
and that's it. Any other questions?
Did you have a chance to look into possibility, if it makes sense to pay this traffic light off and then continue that sales tax at election for the
Yep.
traffic light down Centennial?
Cheryl got me the name of the fiscal agent that did that bond issue back 15 years ago. I have not had an opportunity to track that company down and check out that possibility, but it is a very real possibility to do something like that, yes.
Okay, thanks.
That could go, would that go on election?
Going to April
April.
election.
Yeah.
To continue it, it
Yeah.
may take an election, but it would be a very viable source to fund that light.
All I got.
We wouldn't pay it off, though, until after the election, would we?
No,
Yeah, pass it.
Well, yeah, if it passes, that would be one thing, but,
Right.
Cause that, didn't someone say that bond had it had the possibility of making more money before your actual payoff date, or something like that, that there was enough money being raised off, because it was through the tax system, right? I think Kent was telling me that when he was here, so, but,
Anybody in public?
Mhm.
Nobody out there having questions?
Yeah, there's a possibility to do a refunding of that bond issue or an advanced refunding of the bond issue. There's a couple different ways to go about it. That's why would like to talk to the fiscal agent that actually
did it.
worked on that. And if not, we'll find another firm to review it and analyze it. But there's 2 or 3 possibilities to do something with that bond issue, pay it off, refund it, which is a refinancing, what they call an advanced refunding, where the interest rate may not be significantly different, but you can still do a refinancing. So we'll look at all those options and come back with the best one.
Does anyone out in the public have any questions? No? No questions? You guys have any more questions? Close the public hearing. It's 6:50, I'm gonna close the public hearing. And go for a motion.
Let's continue the public hearing
Mm-mm.
for December, or not?
No.
Okay.
Huh?
What was the question?
Let's continue the public hearing to December.
No, we don't need to continue it so long as you provided an opportunity for public comment at this one.
Make a motion to accept the preliminary budget as presented.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Yes, ma'am. Trustee Burek?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meisner?
Yes.
Trustee Austin?
Yes.
Trustee Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mayor Woodcock?
Yes. And that's it. Meeting adjourned.
You didn't ask if there was any other business.
Yeah. no.